It was quick, wasn't it? Yes, it was quick. We met, we went out, we got engaged, and we got married in 5 months. You were already a mother, and he's a father of 4. And did you want to be a mother again? No. Michelle is an evangelical Christian, and he is Catholic. When they started going out together, she had had a daughter, and Bolsonaro also was a father of 4. He didn't think about being a father again. He actually underwent a vasectomy, which doesn't allow men to have children. I didn't want to be a mother again, but through our marriage, he showed how wonderful he was. I decided that I wanted to have another child with him. So when he hid this from his children and he went to undo the vasectomy, were you supporting him throughout this? Yes, he showed his love, because to convince him, so I actually saw that he loved me and that he wanted to have a family with me. So this hard man that Brazil knows, is he romantic? He's romantic in his own way. He's extremely effective. He pays us a lot of attention. He looks after his family very well. He worries about our well-being. He worries whether we're okay or not, if Laurie's come back home. So for me, this is quite valuable. Now, in spite of knowing that she has to share her husband with millions of Brazilians, she knows that she can count on her husband at home. From the very beginning, he has always prioritized his family. He always comes back home, and he doesn't do certain things because he knows that Saturday and Sunday, it's for the family. These days are for the family. So in other words, he respects the last word in your house, which is yours. No, it's ours. But in the home, he has a little bit more weight. But there's one thing that her husband does which makes her laugh. Breakfast. When he prepares breakfast, because he leaves the kitchen completely messy. He's a wonderful person. He pays a lot of attention, but he's quite messy. So I've said to him, it's not worth preparing breakfast because I have to actually clean up his mess. So he's very messy and disorganized in the home. And what about playing with Laura? They enjoy themselves together. They spend a lot of time together. They play together. They sit on the couch and watch the football. She is his companion. I can see that you're holding your hand together, because if not, you'll start to go into doing sign language. Yes, that's what I'm doing. It's due to an uncle that inspired her to be an activist for those who are deaf. Today, sign language, it's my major love. It makes me emotional. I love it. I like the language. I like the people. My family as well. So there's a lot of love. What's the most beautiful sign language? I love you. Now, if you could say something to someone who's deaf and who's watching this interview, I thank you. I thank the community. I love you all. That's great. And I'm going to fight for your rights, for all deaf people in Brazil. So this lady who's timid, who's always wanted to be in the background, now you're going to take on an institutional position. What challenges can you see for the future? I don't know how it's going to be. I try to live day by day, but I'd like to thank God for the opportunity that He has given us. I don't know what's going to happen, I don't know what's going to take place, but I have a lot of will in my heart and a lot of love to fight for that which I believe in, to fight for people who are disabled, for deaf people, to undertake missions in the outer regions of Brazil. This is something which my mother placed in my heart when I was younger. And I think to myself, Lord, is this actually going to happen? Is this your will in my life? My love is to go to the outer regions of Brazil. I've met the Ribeirinhos people, and I really want their lives to improve because Brazil is very rich, but it's not governed very well. So I ask God that if it's His will, allow me to make a difference, because through our lives we can be blessings for these people. The controversies in relation to her husband affects her. I know Jai Messias. He is my husband, the father of my children, and he protects and looks after us. So I can understand that he has been or is being criticized, and he's not understood very well, and this hurts me. I've always been isolating myself, even from the press. I do this so I don't suffer, because I know he's not what people say he is. She guarantees that he isn't racist, nor is he homophobic. He's been criticized for being racist, but one of his best friends, 20 years ago, was Elio Negão. He has been criticized for being fascist or homophobic, but we have friends who are gay. I have, for example, a cousin who is gay. He has been criticized as being a misogynist. But who is he married to? A daughter of someone from Ceará. So I know that God is giving Brazil the opportunity to know Jai for who he really is. And she remembers the nightmare when he was stabbed during his campaign. Throughout the time, I had a lot of faith in God. When you saw him for the first time in the intensive care unit, how did you feel? I felt sad because he was going through something which he didn't deserve to go through. He didn't deserve to go through the situation that he went through. But we weren't worried of losing him because God put a kind of peace which was so beautiful and so strong in my heart. Many people were praying for him at the time that I wasn't worried that I would lose him. I was sad because he didn't deserve to go through what he was going through. But when you're in São Paulo and the medical team said that he'd have to undergo some more surgery, the doctor said that he needed to be operated on again. He was in the hospital for 23 days, and he went through all those difficult steps, but God was giving us a victory all the time, and God showed him that it was a miracle because that stab wound was to kill him, but I could saw God's hand in all of the experience that we went through. God placed fear and love in this person's heart because it was terrible what happened. So in spite of what happened, which was quite surprising, which created animosity during the campaign, do you believe that your husband is able to bring peace and unify Brazil? Yes. He just wants security. We know that humans, they only respect what they fear. So I'm certain that he doesn't want to destroy Brazil. He wants to actually lift up Brazil. And I know that God will give him wisdom and discernment, and he will change Brazil. He will change Brazil, and he will have this opportunity to show the population who he really is. That he's a good person, he's human, he's ethical, brilliant, and someone who's been in the Congress for many years. He doesn't negotiate his values. His wife, who speaks well of her husband, she becomes emotional when the highlight is placed on her. What does it mean to serve for you? It means, to help is something which is essential. It's a characteristic which I have, which God has placed in my heart. The ability to feel, to empathize with other people, so I can see God's character and identity in my life, and I want to make a difference. Yes.